Hello, how are you doing? Barnabas here. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while, but today I have a guest, a friend of mine. His name is Wickliffe Oyunga. Did I get that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, Wickliffe Oyunga is a friend of mine for a while now. Wickliffe is an academician. He's a lecturer at the University of Melbourne, and he hails from Kenya, where I also come from. And we've spoken about this before, and just asked Wickliffe to come to my show and just explain how he ended up in Australia, because some of you would want to pursue a similar path. What your journey been like being a lecturer in Australia and all that. We're going to talk about that today, and we are going to also answer some of your questions that some of you have been asking about the path that can lead you here to Australia and to be a lecturer in a university. Mike Wickliffe is going to answer that question. So thank you very much for accepting my invite.
Yep.
It's been a long time coming, but finally we are here. So introduce yourself, tell the people who you are.
Yeah, it's very true that we have tried to be, get this time
Yeah.
to talk about this
Yeah.
and many other issues about Australia.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I'm happy that the day has come
Yes.
and you found time to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my name is Wickliffe Oyunga.
Mm-hmm.
From Kenya.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Siaya County. So I'm a lecturer, I'm an academic based at the University of Melbourne, the Faculty of Science, that is the School of Food, Agriculture and Ecosystem Sciences, recently constructed school.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been lecturing since 2022. So I think I leave it to Barry to drive the conversation today and see what else viewers want to see. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Wickliffe, or Dr. Oyunga. Is Oyunga, right?
Yes, Oyunga.
Yes, Dr.
Yes.
Oyunga.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, where did you grow up, and how was it like, your family setup?
Yeah, thank you. My family initially was based in Nakuru at Egerton University, where my dad was working. So I was born in Nakuru and spent my first 10 years in Nakuru before my dad retired and we moved up country to Siaya.
Yeah.
And so my schooling was mostly in boarding schools in Siaya. That's where I did up to class 8. Moved from class 8 and joined Alliance High School.
Yeah.
That's where I did my high school from 1 to form 4.
Yeah.
Completed 93.
Yeah.
And probably, Bunny, you may know that those days you had to stay out for 2 years after finishing O-level or high school before joining. So I joined university in 95, University of Nairobi. 4 years Bachelor of Agriculture degree.
So you were in Kabete Ngombe.
I was in Kabete Ngombe.
Now, you're moving too quick. Let's go back. Let's go back to
a bit,
Nakuru. Okay. So, was your father a lecturer? Was he part of the support team at the university, at Egerton University?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my father was not a lecturer, but was actually part of what you call the support team.
Yes.
His title was Basa.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we grew up.
Yeah.
But obviously interacting with other people who grew up in that ecosystem at that time. Those days it was called Egerton College.
Okay.
Yeah, I still find it hard to call it Egerton University because I was so used to Egerton College, or EGA as we used to call it. Yeah, so that's where my dad worked all this time. Different roles, but I think the one I remember most was that he was the college bursar. Yeah. So
good. So your primary school was partly in Nakuru.
Yes.
And in Nakuru you didn't board because that's where you were living.
Yep.
Then you moved back to Siaya when your father retired.
Yeah.
So how was it like? Were you a big family?
Yep.
How many were you in the family?
Yeah, I come from a very big family. I think those who know, is that I have 16 siblings.
Yes.
So there's 17 of us.
Wow.
Yeah. There's me who's number 13.
Yes.
And so obviously there's many others ahead of me, and after me there's 4.
Wow.
So it was a very large family.
Yeah.
Growing up in Egerton, college by then, very wide spaces, a lot of places to play, very good experiences, I must say. Yeah, I started school at Egerton College, Skilimo Primary School, for those who know it. Then when we moved up country, when my dad retired, that is in 86, I was about 10, 11 years old already. That is when I joined boarding school. Again.
So which boarding school was that?
So in Siaya, I went to a school called Dairy Boys.
Okay.
Dairy Boys boarding. That's in Gale.
Yeah.
I think some of my schoolmates will watch this video because we are very much in contact.
Yeah.
And that's where I did my class 5 to 8.
Yeah.
Leaving class 8 in 89 and joining high school in 1990.
1990.
Yes.
Now, looks like, thinking about my growing up, looks like your family were fair to do in terms of, your father working, and especially when you mentioned that you went to a boarding school in primary. Getting into a boarding school in primary, for some of us, was you could not think about. So, looks like, your family was humble, but not so humble, and so you had some, privilege to go to a boarding school in primary, and looks like you did really well to get some points to get you to Alliance. You were a smart kid, right?
Yeah, I think I must say in primary I was smart, good in school, academically. I also liked doing sports. And on your point, not really well-to-do family, but I would say pretty organized, because what my dad did was to emphasize on the education of my older brothers and sisters, and then they took up the responsibility for us younger ones. So again, for me, I find a bit of a unique situation where the older ones sacrificed quite a bit for us to go to school. Imagine being called to go to Alliance High School, thinking about how much. By then, by the way, it wasn't much, but it was by those standards still quite a bit.
Of course,
I remember in Alliance High School, in the later terms, like third term, sometimes the fee would be less than 1,000 shillings. But still, it was quite a bit to be able to get at that time. So I think my parents, my dad and mom, and my elder siblings were organized in such a way that they were able to support us to go to the schools that we were called to. And so that was really helpful, because by then my dad had retired, and my elder brother, who I'm still really grateful to up to now, picked up from where dad left, and took me through 4 years in primary school boarding and 4 years in high school boarding, and also supported me when I was at the uni, because it is at that time that the university support was beginning to dwindle. So then it was not automatic to always get what we used to call the loan or the boom. So still, I got a lot of support from my elder siblings.
Which is really something that is it's really good that they did that. My elder siblings did the same to me. Because I think for me my dad retired even before I joined high school. So I remember the first day in high school, it's my elder sister who took me there. He took me, did everything, paid the fees, bought everything. And I'm so grateful, so that, they didn't sacrifice. They stepped in, where it was needed. Now, you were in Alliance. Look, how many points did you get to get to Alliance? Do you remember?
I still remember. Those are kind of milestones.
Yeah.
You don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was 586
out of 700. Wow, so smashed it, eh?
I think I was the school set up in the primary school where I was really encouraged us to do our best, and to target those high schools. So myself and a few of my colleagues targeting the so-called national schools then, Alliance High School, Enana, Nairobi School and the like. Yeah, so the system then was such that Alliance would go to the district and probably pick the top students that had chosen them. And so I was among them, having been the second best student in the primary school where I was. And so that's how I ended up there. And, you know, by standard 8, my aspiration was to go to Alliance. I know there are those who by class 8, they already want to be engineers or doctors. I wasn't like that. I just wanted to go to Alliance High School, to go to the best high school. The school that I believe was the best high school by then. So that was, I think my aspirations were not as lofty as some of the people that I have had, you know, really thinking already big about career. Mine was just to get to that school.
So at that point, you don't know about, you know, career you're going to do. You just want to make it to the best high school.
Make it to the best high school.
Which you did.
Yes.
So tell me, in Alliance, you go to high school and you start from 1, from 2. How is it like? You at this point, have you already picked, you know, some of the things you want to do in future, or you're just still working hard to get your academic you know, grades?
Yeah, what I can say about Alliance was, you know, it's a very competitive place. Because you're now really competing with the best. Yeah, so again, you got the narrow short-term goals to be either the best, be in the top 10 or even in the top 20 in your class or in your stream. And for me, things like career and you know, what I want to do in future was again more influenced by my siblings. So thinking about what they were doing, looking at what they were doing, and you know, beginning to drift towards a particular career. I thought I really wanted to be an engineer, which is the profession that my brother who was supporting me is. He's an engineer. But of course, again at the high school, they would really extol on us, you know, to aim for these really high-end careers, medicine, law, engineering. You know, that's kind of what you are expected to be focusing on, and not anything else. So
at this point, are your parents and your siblings having any influence on, you know, what you're going to do? Like, you know, when your kid is in high school, at this point you're starting to think, what is it that, you know, my child is going to do after this? So at this point, are they influencing what your career is going to be like? Your father, your siblings, are they talking to you?
Yes, quite a bit of advice, talking to you, thinking, helping you figure out what kind of career you need to focus on, with their own reasons, based on the settings at that time, thinking about careers that can get you a good job, because that was kind of what the focus for education was at that time. So again, as I've mentioned, with the big career top positions, you know, medicine, doctor, that lawyer. Kind of engineer, lawyer, so the focus being, you know, you do this, do it well, you get a job, you know, you become successful. So yes, quite a bit of advice from my siblings and my parents, and obviously high school as well, with the careers. We had a kind of like a careers sub-department with a careers master and a deputy careers master who would talk to us from time to time about career choices, university choices, what you want to go and study at the university, what that would lead to. So there's quite a bit of advice coming in from the school, coming in from the siblings, amongst ourselves as peers, you know, discussing amongst ourselves. ourselves. Yeah.
So at this point, are you good in maths? Are you good in humanities? What is your best in the choice of like subjects?
So I would say I was really average, but slightly strong on the arts and humanities side. Yeah, I would say I was good in the languages and the humanities if I compare them to the sciences. So all through, so for example, the subjects then were more clearly outlined. There's maths, English, biology, physics, chemistry, and the likes. Yeah, I was stronger with the languages and the humanities. And pretty average, I would say, with the sciences. Although I think I was also very good with maths.
I struggled with the languages. Oh my goodness! Like the huge passages, I would read and my head spins. Literature and all that. I kind of struggled. In primary, I was good. Swahili, English, I was good. But I don't know what happened when I entered high school. Maybe I just developed an attitude. I couldn't. I just didn't like the languages. Now, so in high school, you do well. Sounds like you did well. And then what did you get?
Yeah, I so at the end of high school, I would say I thought I expected myself to do better. Yeah, but I was still happy with the grade I got because those days was not easy to get there. So I got a B+ grade. Which at the point I saw it, I was like, oh no, I thought I would get better than this. But later on, I got like, this is kind of what I deserve. It's okay. It's a good grade. Still quite high end. And so.
And which year is this?
93.
Let me put this one on.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is 1993,
93,
right?
yeah, 89 plus 8, 93. From 4.
From 4, yeah.
So, yeah, November-ish when we do the exam. And so we go back home and we got there 1 or 2 months to wait.
Yeah.
Then the results come out.
Yeah, it was an occasion,
Yes.
announcing of results. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go and, officially get your sleep. And
in those days, you had to go to high school to get your results.
You had to go there.
You couldn't check it online, right?
No, you couldn't.
If I remember well.
Online. You had to
go to high school, back to your school.
Go back to your school
to check.
To get first the slip.
Yeah.
Then later again, to get the certificate. It was kind of.
So where are you at this point when the results are announced? Are you back in Siaya? Have you started doing something where did, after you finished your papers, your exam, did you go back to Siaya or where did you go?
So at that particular time, I'm mostly still living with my siblings in Nairobi, so hustling. So the main thing we were doing at that time with one of my brothers was we tried to organize holiday tuition programs as a way of hustling, so to speak. And so that's kind of how I got
started with
I got engaged. And by that time you don't realize it, but you begin to see how you're transmitting knowledge to somebody else in a particular way. But again, during this time, I think sometime in 1994, I got a job. You're hustling, but still kind of trying to see if you can get a job. I did get a job at a bank sometime in 94. So I worked in the bank. Was beginning to settle in the bank, but then 95 now the university now sends you a letter that you have been admitted to this course.
So before you get to the bank, so you say you finish your papers, you went to live with your siblings in Nairobi, and you started helping other students, high school students, right?
Yes.
What were you teaching them? Like,
so we were teaching mostly the sciences. That's maths, chemistry, physics. Not so much biology, mostly maths, chemistry, and physics. So we set up in such a way that we would go out looking for students through different places, either in churches or in places where we'd socialize, like sports places where we'd go to play, send out the word. And sometimes we actually did door to door, just to see is there somebody who needs support for tuition, extra tuition. That's kind of what we got into.
So how do you remember what you were charging then?
I can't remember. Probably had some hundreds. It was something that was in I think. There were people who were already quite organized doing those things, and so we were trying to enter into that market. And pricing was one way we would try to strategically position ourselves. Basically, I mean, charging lower than the more established people. So that we could penetrate the market.
So would you do the tuition at their homes, or where would you go?
So it was a mix. We would do at their home if that's what the client preferred. Or one of the places that we used to go, as I told you, I was very active in sports. I played basketball very much in high school. So one of the churches where we used to go and play basketball, in Langata, where I lived with my brother, the pastor there, the Baptist priest, allowed us to use one of the rooms for tuition for free. So we would deliver tuition there, but only during the holidays. So any tuition that we were doing during school times, we would then go, like on the weekends, to the client's house and just do the tuition there, 1 or 2 hours depending on what we agree, and then go back.
So you're doing this tuition and you like it. You kind of like it. Of course, it's giving you some money, some pocket money, and you kind of see changing, lives of people, giving them knowledge. So do you think this is influencing you and you're getting to enjoy this? How at this point, it's just a means of survival at this point? It's not something you'd want to do in future?
It is a bit of both, a means of survival, but also a way to keep learning and to see that what you're doing is helping. Somebody telling you, I didn't understand this concept, I understand it now. So and actually I think some of the students we taught, my brother, who is my immediate follower, Julius, did it much more than me, and was much more established and has got a lot more people that still reach out, whom he's helped more than me. But I have a few as well who I'm still in touch with that. So this was more income generation, but also for a bit of, in retrospect, satisfaction that you are actually helping somebody to achieve better academic performances in their classwork.
So now you mentioned that. So you do this for a while, and then you get a job at the bank. In 2024, you said? In
1994.
94.
It's
a long way to 2024.
Long time ago.
So you get a job. You're still living with your sibling.
Yes.
And you get a job at a bank. Which bank was it?
Yes. So I joined the National Bank. It was called then. It was at the Hill Plaza branch. That's where I worked. So very excited. Got a permanent job. You start to feel really because it's very difficult for that waiting period. Coming out of a school, alliance, the way it is, a lot of your contemporaries, people going abroad, people will be getting jobs, so people will be starting to do things. So you also feel part of the group, that you now have something that you're doing. It's permanent. You're going to work. You know,
full time.
Yeah, that difficult question of, you know, what are you unafanya nini siku hizi? You could answer it with that. So that was for me really good. Something that, you know, nobody helped you or influenced anything. Just throwing applications all over the place, and you just attended 2 or 3 interviews at the banks and got one of them.
What position was that?
So that was a clerical position in the foreign exchange section. So we were basically dealing with foreign exchange transactions, clearances. So getting to meet a lot of the government ministers when they come in to transact. You know, so I'd say it was a very exciting experience, but it also taught me about you know, the need to be very keen about what you do to avoid scammers. By then the bank was not really high tech, it was much more manual stuff, writing things by hand. So being very careful that, you know, signatures cannot be forged, or you cannot accept fake foreign currency and change it for genuine Kenyan shillings, you know, so that at the end of the day, when the reconciliation is being done, you're always found to have done a good job. A lot of training in the bank, but also a lot of intuitive kind of keenness got into me at that time. Learning to be keen, to be careful, be cautious, be procedural, things like that.
Oh, good. So you, at this point, you still don't know what you want to do in future. You're just enjoying the bank. You're just enjoying the moment. So 2020. Why am I getting to 2024 already? So 1995. You move out of the bank to the university. Did you say the university?
Yes.
What happened?
That's the year I joined the university.
Yes.
So obviously, as you know, those days staying 2 years out. So after 93, you have those 2 years. So I'm now at the bank, working, and I'm at that time thinking to myself, maybe I can make a career out of this. Try and do some banking-related professional development studies, and just stay in the bank. I had 2 siblings by then working in the bank, and as I told you, I would look at my siblings and what careers they were in that way influenced what my thinking was about, you know, what's happening. So I actually did a bit of banking courses. But you know, time moves so quickly. October, the letter to join University of Nairobi, Upper Kabete campus for a bachelor's degree in agriculture comes along.
Are you disappointed at this time? Kabete Ngombe, it's agriculture, something away from the bank. Are you disappointed?
I'm not really disappointed, but torn. Do I go to this or do I keep on here? So really torn. But at the same time, probably you were right with some disappointment, because you now see your friends going into engineering, medicine, and I think I was the only one from Alliance High School that year that went to Upper Kabete campus. So you know, you really think to yourself,
as they call it, Kabete Ngombe.
Yes. Yes, that was the name of our campus at Nairobi University. We didn't really like it, but that was.
So a bit of disappointment.
A bit of disappointment.
But do you feel at this point there's a bit of hope? You said you liked humanities, and agriculture being one of them. Did you do agriculture in Alliance?
Yes, I did agriculture.
Which you performed well.
I did well in it, yes. So at that point the letter comes, so I'm like, what do I do? So I go back to my my source of advice. I go back to the family, talk to them, and my brother again, who the same guy, the engineer who has been looking after my education from primary. he says to me, there is nothing that you can compare with going to the university. Go to the university. This job will still be waiting for you. So
what an advice. Yes.
He gave, you know, he speaks calmly, but very with a lot of conviction. And I think that is what tipped the balance for me, because by then I was torn between carrying on a career in banking or going to the university. And by then, 95, we still didn't have a lot of the, you know, parallel programs. Actually, they were not there. And so you would not imagine a situation where you're working in a bank, but get an opportunity to get a university degree. Probably if that was there, I may not have gone that way. But then it was an either or. You either take this or you take this.
And it was going to be very difficult for you. First of all, it's expensive. Parallel degree is very expensive. And maybe there's no time. You know, the way bank is very, you know, busy.
My point,
you might
exactly.
not,
It was really, really busy. It was really busy. You're either working or reconciling your work. You're either working or reconciling your work. You work up to 3 p.m. in the bank, you shut the bank doors, then you now go in and start doing the back office stuff, which is also very, very time-taking. And as I told you, I did some professional course in the CPI. You only did one section of the first part. And then I just couldn't continue because
CPA 1 is they call it. Where I think there's
economics, law, and financial accounting. That's
introduction to financial accounting.
Exactly. Where I was going with a friend of mine to Strathmore. That's the only one I could do, because it was really, you just couldn't get the time.
You could only go to evening class.
Yes, and those who have been to Strathmore, you know how it is.
I did.
If you are late, you're late. If you're not dressed appropriately, you won't
go back.
And so those
I went to Strathmore.
Okay, that is it. So I did 6 months at Strathmore, then I ended it there, and to your point exactly, it was very busy. And so when the option was, you know, go to the uni or stick to the bank and take your chances with what will come in the future. So my brother, as he mentioned to me, there is nothing that you can compare to the university experience. Forget about the degree. There's a lot that is
the learning, like life skills.
The life skills, exactly. The life skills, that experience, you will not get it elsewhere. So those 4 years are more important than, you know, thinking about what degree will I get or what is my eventual career. So I, you know, wrote a resignation. I was with a friend of mine. Don't know if you'll watch this. Don't know if you watch this. You remember we joined the bank at the same time. We wrote our resignation letters at the same time to Mr. Awori, who was by then the HR manager at National Bank. And, you know, they tried to talk to us. Are you guys sure? Blah, blah, blah. But we moved out. And so my friend Dennis joined the main campus, and I went down to Campus Ngombe. That's how I started.
What was Dennis going to do at main campus?
Dennis was going to do Bachelor of Arts in Economics. Yes. So
and then you went to Upper Kabete.
I went to Upper Kabete.
So how was the experience high school? I know we're getting close to, you know, finding how you came to Australia, but then you go for, because I worked at the university, so I kind of know the experience. The first day with registration, the long queue, and you know, people coming in the morning. How was it? Tell us about it.
It was very, very chaotic. Challenging. It's kind of like the first institution you're going to join by yourself. So my parents are back home. My siblings didn't go with me. Not that I needed them, but, you know, you go there and you have to find the right queue. You have to find what you need to pay, and what receipts you need to show, what documents you need to pick from where to take. So it's really, let me call it chaos, you know. You try to find some order in the chaos, but it's very, very tricky in terms of, just getting in, settling in, getting a room, getting registered, getting a student number, getting the student ID, all those things. Yeah, it's interesting. But then you see everybody else kind of in the same boat. It makes you feel a bit better, if we can call it that. And so, had a little savings from my working at the bank. It helped me to settle in. Again, my siblings are coming in strongly to help me get the accommodation. The tuition fee, I still remember the figure by then, 8,500. We could manage to raise that. We had the loans. I think, and the grant. There was two of them. The help loan. I think there was a loan, and then there was a grant for those who didn't have any. Like if you didn't have any parents. So I would get the loan. I didn't get the full amount, but I would get the loan. So somehow I settled in, got into class. I think the first year was very difficult because you still, with a bit of buyer's remorse, did I really do the right thing?
The first year.
I remember, we tried to go back to the bank during the holiday. And if they could, because we heard of this thing that some banks would take university students. Because we had long holidays, sometimes 4-6 months. Let's see if the bank would take us in short term, and I remember it was a big no.
Okay, so you were still missing the bank. You go, and then the first break you try go back to the bank to see if they can see
you're sharing stories with your friends, and everyone is like, I was at what was this bank by then? I can't remember the name exactly, but they're telling me that for us during the holidays we go and we work for 4 months, we have contracts and all this. But no, it didn't work like that for us. So but during the holiday, back to our original hustle of holiday tuition.
Wow. So you after you joined campus, when you went back for holidays, you found the kids to still run, high school students.
Maintained a holiday tuition program.
Are you still using the same venue for your holiday at the Baptist?
Yes, we are still using the Baptist, but again mixing it up with doing it at the client's house. So it's a mix of those two. But basically we are hustling. I think I did a lot of things apart from that. Because I played basketball. I did a bit of basketball coaching as well. All these hustles, you're living in.
So coaching, just where were you coaching?
I did a bit of coaching in a high school. So that was near where we were living. So by then I was living with a brother of mine
in
Ongata Rongai.
Oh, okay.
He had moved to Ongata Rongai by then, and there was a school there. I think now it's much well known. It's a bigger school now, and it's very good in basketball, called Laser Hill Academy. So I would go there.
I know Laser
coach.
Hill.
Yes. And so my former deputy principal, Mr. Haemba, I think if he sees this video, he will also know, gave me a recommendation to that school, and because he was known, when I left Alliance, he had now become the principal. So when I went to Laser Hill and said to them, I played basketball, I can coach, they said, who's your referee? And they called him, and he said, he can do it. So all in just trying to hustle. I can coach a bit of basketball.
Is it the Mr. Haemba I know? Did he ever become a principal elsewhere in Western?
Yes.
Which school?
Friends School, Kamusinga.
It's the one I know. I know him.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So that was my basketball coach in high school. He was my deputy. He was the deputy principal when I was at Alliance.
Okay.
He later became principal.
That's good.
He recommended me, and I did a bit of hustling as a coach.
it's a small world. His son is a good friend of mine.
Yes. So
his
at
son.
least his
So
son.
he knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I don't want to mention his name.
Yes.
Yeah, his son is a good friend of mine, a long time friend.
Perfect.
Yeah. So they were paying you for coaching.
Yeah, get a bit of pay. Yeah.
But just during the school holidays.
During the uni holiday.
Yeah.
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 And that made it difficult because again, when uni opens, you have to go back.
Yes.
So there is that lack of continuity.
Okay.
But yeah, I did a bit of this and that. What I'm trying to say is that you do
hustle.
this, you do this, you try to hustle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's keeping yourself busy, isn't it? Otherwise, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
It's good that you found stuff to do.
Yeah.
Even when you had breaks. So you do first year, second year. Are you starting to love it, the course?
Yes.
At what point?
Beginning to enjoy agriculture in second year very much. Beginning to relate it to the Kenyan situation much more closely.
At this point, you've started doing the practical, units.
Yes.
You've finished the basics.
Oh,
now
yeah,
you're starting the practicals. Is that why you're enjoying it? Or
you're starting to do. I think other than the fact that it's now the practical, I think it is some subconscious realization that this is your situation. So you try and make the best out of it.
Yes.
Probably not deliberate, but subconsciously you're like, okay, I've done 1 year. It was very tricky. I have a lot of buyer's remorse. I have a lot of things I'm thinking about. Gone through that. I'm now in the second year.
The bank is not taking you back.
No.
so you cut the link with the bank.
You cut the link, and you now have to. You can't get what you love. You have to love what you get. So this is your situation. By then you made good friends at uni. So
yes.
Apart from the academic, uni life is beginning to become better.
Better. Yes.
Yeah. You got good friends.
There's
that time, those times when uni, obviously the academics is important, but the social aspect is now so important. You're into uni, you are into a bit of uni politics, you're into good sports, you have good friends. So I think second year, uni was good, third and fourth uni was
Some people would say that the social life becomes more important.
I would really agree with them because I think in the first year you're still really worried. Okay, this is a new academic experience, and the assignments are really coming strong on you. You really don't have solid friends yet, but by the second year, because Kabete and I think many other campuses at that time, everybody lives in the university. It's different from now what it is in Kenya, where you have a lot of the student population lives away, and so you don't really socialize other than when you're in class. But then there were hostels, all of you are living there, so you're either together in class or you're together in the hostels or doing some activity somewhere, so you build really good bonds.
So you're starting to agree with your elder brother's sentiment. Experience is important.
Yes. I have always reminded him, expecting him sometime, if God willing, to come over to attend my graduation. Because I always tell him, what you told me those years back turned out to be so true. So true. Like, there will be no other experience to a university. I mean, there will be no alternative to a university experience. And he never mentioned the academics, or he just said experience. So I think he was very, very right.
So you go through the second year, and third year, fourth year at this point. How is your academic performance? Is it starting to shape up and trying to inform what you're going to do in future, or at this point, what do you see?
Again, at this point, in the uni, getting to third year and then to fourth year, kind of expected to specialize in one of 5 areas. I think the soil science, animal, crop protection, and agriculture. business, I think. Yeah, so at that time you're already kind of thinking, what does the job market look like? Where do I need to specialize? But again, where are my strengths? So it's easy to, not really easy, but it's it really helps you to decide, okay, this is what I want to do. I specialize in crop science because of the opportunities that I thought were there at that time, and my academic performance in subjects related to that particular specialization. Yeah, so at that time, yep, you're right, third and fourth year, your academics kind of solidify. You're kind of a bit more sure of yourself, like what am I up to? But still, I think in the perspective of Kenya at that time, you still have to kind of ask yourself, what really is the future in terms of prospects for getting work with this kind of a degree?
Yeah, it's a big factor.
Yeah, and at that time we are talking to colleagues who have already left. Actually, one of them is a CS now, who we really consult with. He would come and talk to us and tell us, this is what's out there. If you are going this line, this is kind of probably what you expect. And a few other people who left before us, just trying to get an idea of what's happening. But you are kind of a bit more sure of yourself, like, okay, you really understand yourself. I think first and second year, you're kind of still not really sure, but third and fourth, you're like, okay, this is the subject I'm good at. And from the information I'm getting, this is kind of where I should focus on getting a career. But I think one funny thing with pay is I said to myself, I don't think I'm coming back to the uni after this. This is a bachelor's degree and that's it. Because I can see those that are coming back. There's really, in my view, nothing extra they're really getting from coming back to do a master's. The careers are really not advancing. You come and do the master's, you just go back to your career. Or you finish a bachelor's degree and cannot get a job and come back to do a master's and go back and try again. So there was really no clear advantage for, you've done a bachelor's. You'll be better or you'll be more competitive with a master's. So I remember I would tell my colleagues, oh, for me, this is the end.
This is it,
This is the end. And probably that explains why from 99, when I graduated bachelor's, it is only in 2014 that I did a master's. So it's quite a long time, probably 15 years. But it is because I was like, what's the point? So
and it's probably also in Kenya, actually, that agricultural sector is very tricky, isn't it? It's not clear, not as clear as in finance, right? You probably go and work in a bank, go and work for a company as an accountant and all that. So it's not very straightforward. Agricultural sector is a bit tricky. It's a bit not very well structured in Kenya.
So the only place that you would get, in my view, like proper focused employment, I think, was government, where I ended up eventually. Other than that, it was the NGOs and the input manufacturers, where you would basically be somebody selling stuff. So obviously using a bit of your technical knowledge to promote the stuff, but in my perspective, not really using all the skills that you come out from the uni with. So again, obviously there's that debate of whether the uni really trains for the industry properly, like what the industry needs. But at that time when you got out, those were the skills you had. But some of these, the industry really did not need. So had a lot of friends who got positions in the both local and international input manufacturers, you know, the Bayers, Syngentas, Trigger Chemicals, whatever.
Yeah.
And basically it was, you know, you got a portfolio of products that you need to sell to a particular
just
region.
Because you have a better understanding of
like, you know, understand maybe about crop protection and probably in coffee, or crop protection in horticulture or in wheat. So that's kind of the section you would. Yeah, so before I joined government, I briefly worked for one such organization and I got the experience of what it means. And so that's why I say in comparison, I think the government kind of gets you into a bit more structure. Uses a bit more of the knowledge you have.
So 1999 you graduate, and did you immediately get into that short-term job that you're talking about, or did you go back to your normal hustle teaching or basketball coaching?
Yeah, so 99
before 99, at this point, have you started dating? Have you, you know, what's your relationship like with
so at that point I would say not seriously engaged in but obviously you've got friends, girlfriends, and you know it is normally very difficult for me to explain what dating means. What does it mean? So
so you got friends. Let's just
I got friends and
it's a big.
But I think again from my background maybe I am thinking to myself. One thing has to come before the other. You need to be a bit stable, a stable income activity before you can then, you know, move on to that step. Right or wrong, it's debatable, but kind of what I thought at that time.
I agree with you. So 99 you graduate and you immediately got this job, or you went back to hustle?
Oh, it was a proper hustle. Proper for a while. But again, the hustle, you know, looking for jobs, and you were applying whatever it is that came up, that you know, you thought you stood a chance, I would apply for it. And I managed to get a position as a numerator. It was on a pretty large project, again run by Egerton University. And they were doing a large household survey about agricultural production and productivity, issues of use of inputs and things like that. So it was a very, very big survey in the year 2000, and then they repeated it in 2002. So I would get engaged like 6 months, and then you're off. When you're off, yes, back to default settings, a bit of tutor work. I apart from basketball, I'm like a fairly good tennis player. I would go coaching tennis. Like when the chance comes, and you know, in high school, I kind of made some connections with people who were playing tennis at elite level in Kenya. So many years down the line, I've now gone to high school, to uni. I can pull on some of these strings and like, guys, what's happening? Can I get something? And they're like, you come to this club and see if this person will hire you. So if you get holiday tuition, unafanya hiyo. Ukipata coaching, you just go for it. But keeping an eye and ear out for more career-aligned and permanent positions. So for example, this survey, we would go out, gather data, they would go and analyze it, and call us back if they needed more data. So I think the first one was a very long one in 2000 for around 6 months. And then the others were shorter, like 2, 3, or 4 months, or a particular researcher in that organization called Tegemeo Institute would maybe want to do some work and engage you. So I did a lot of enumeration work, all the way rising up to like kind of a research assistant, where I was now not just collecting data, but also trying to do some preliminary analysis. So this is from 2000 all the way to 2005.
Wow.
Like no permanent job, you just like what comes
for 5 years.
For 5 years. For 5 years there was no job. Yeah.
But it looks like this, because you've done tuition for a long time now.
Yeah.
You know, since high school, since you finished high school, you've always gone back to do tuition and all that. So kind of subconsciously you've enjoyed this thing. You know how to do it. Yeah. And now that you've done the research, you know, part of it.
Yes.
Are they saying pulling some strings? Are you kind of thinking research, you know, into academic at this point or not? Or you still just looking for surviving and, you know, looking for something permanent?
Yes. So there's two forces fighting. There's the force to survive, and there's the force to go into a career where you've got strength. Yeah. So unfortunately at that time, the force to survive is stronger. So if I find something that can help me survive, even if it is drifting me away from this obvious strength that I'm realizing, I'll drift. Yeah. I'll go back to doing whatever it is I need to do, so to speak, to survive. So luckily, then in 2005, you know, all these applications that you're doing, you know, those of my age or those of my times, they will realize that's what we used to do. We do a lot of what we would call blind applications. You just send them. You know that this is an organization, they do this, you send it. So
without an advertisement, you just tell them I'm available.
Yes. So like it was a mix. So out of 10 applications, 2 would be probably based on adverts. 8 would be blind applications, because you know there's this organization, you know, your friend met you and said, you know, have you tried these guys? Yeah, you try these guys. So you just send. Wow. Yeah. So
lesson to you guys: survival. 5 years. Yeah. You know, nothing permanent, but you're still working. You're still doing tuition. You got to do what is there. Yeah. You know what is in your hands.
What is in your hands? So, like I said, in 2000 when I joined Tegemeo Institute to start doing the household data survey, we were ranked. I think there was 25 of us, and I was the best enumerator. So that again helped. Whenever they needed somebody, they would call me back, or whenever a particular research fellow needed to do some work, they go to their database and say, "Are you available?" So you know, hustling, but you know, doing a good job. If you get an opportunity, you do it well. Those of you who have done data collection, you know how hard it is to run a questionnaire for 3 hours without losing your respondent. But that's what we had to do. Sit with the respondent, ask about their production, ask about their income, ask about any remittances they get, ask about their challenges, you know, and keep them focused. Yeah, so it got to a time when the questionnaire was fully in my mind. All 20-25 pages of it. And I just, if I open this page, this is the next question. So that is a skill I developed, and it came in very handy when I was doing my PhD the other day in terms of administering a questionnaire, getting information. Obviously now there is much more sophistication in terms of you can record and transcribe later. Those days you had to ask, get the answer, write it down, but keep the conversation going. Try not to lose the respondent.
Otherwise you keep them waiting for a long time.
Yes, as you're writing, oh, did I ask this question, you know? So I learned a lot during that time. I did it well, and they would always call me back. So in those 5 years, I'd say maybe 3, 4, 5 spells that I went back to either work with Tegemeo or with somebody associated with Tegemeo who needed some work done as you know, an enumerator. Traveled around the country because they were like countrywide. So in 2005, that's when I got a job with agricultural input manufacturing company. Unfortunately, when I did the interview, let me say fortunately or unfortunately, the position was for a sales representative, just like I told you. Most of those jobs were.
Yeah, more for sales.
Yeah. But when I got in, they changed and said, oh, we'd like you to stay in the office as kind of like a supply chain manager. So the orders come in, I process them, make sure they're all right, send them, and try and track payments. Like, who, you know, the way you give people 30-day credit, that's it, 30-day credit, 60, 90. Make sure everybody is within. Yeah, so you can see my skill is basically agriculture, but that's more of, it's close to accounting, it's closer to something else. Yeah, so that's what I was doing for 2 years, for 2 years at that company, Farmchem Limited. And it was very tricky because sometimes you don't know when to be objective and when to be subjective. Objective and subjective, because there were clients who could go beyond their credit. But you could not kind of, you know, really follow them hard on. So that became a bit challenging. You know, you ask the person, you know, you're a 90 credit, you go to 120, what are you paying? They call the boss.
And then the boss comes
boss
for
tells you should know who to do what with.
I know. I've been in situations like that many times, so I know what is
so all this, I think it's part of refining me, you know, bit of a pressure pot. So 2006 again, this time the government advertises for positions. I apply and invited to the interview. You know, the government interview, you need a lot of documents. This. By then again, it was not digitized, so you needed, I don't know, a letter from who, all your certificates, everything must be
so many copies.
So many. 9 copies or something. So we went after the interview. I got the position.
What position was that?
The position was called Agricultural Officer 2. And that meant you are being deployed at either a district or a division. By then we didn't have counties. And I still remember my starting salary of 17,817 per month. So again,
was that a lot at that point? That point?
Not really. I would say it wasn't a lot, and why is because the private sector was paying me much more.
I would imagine.
So I'm at another crossroads, just like the one I was. Do I leave the bank to go to the uni? So here, do I leave a better paying job to go to government with so-called stability, you know, less pressure and things like that. So I consulted, talked to
and possibly potential of being transferred to whatever, who knows?
Or I'm actually coming to that. Yes. So after consulting, I mean, the advice was very interesting. Some people saying this, some people saying that. So I went to the boss and said to him, I want to leave. He said, why? I said, I'm joining the government. And he laughed. I still remember he laughed. He said, you seriously want to leave going there? And I said, yes, I want to leave. I think by then I was finding the work in the private sector the pressure was a bit too much. Maybe it was me, or maybe it was that particular position. The people out in the field seemed to be doing all right. But in the office, close proximity, and also
managing clients is not
it was very difficult. So I was kind of really decided to move out. I think it was a third or something, or a quarter, slightly over a quarter of the pay.
Wow.
And he said to me, really? He said, why? And so you know, depending on how you relate with your boss, there are that sometimes you can't tell them things point blank that, you know, I'm under pressure, I can't do this. I said to him, because I want to further my education, and the ministry offers that. He said to me, oh, that's the only problem. Okay, we will transfer you to the field where you have a bit of time to study. Oh my, I said, oh, this, I didn't use a very good reason. I needed a reason for them to just accept my resignation, but to live in good terms. So I said, anyway, in spite of all that, I just prefer to go. The government career development, I think, is better for me if I want to go for further study and things like that. There's opportunity. Once I've served for 2 years, I can go. I said, okay. But later on, I got, you know, a lot of emissaries, you know, we are going to do this, we're going to change this, we're going to improve your salary. So, but my mind was made up, and, you know, people also advising that, you know, if you come back and that chance goes, you don't know what will happen by staying here. So I left, and as you say, I was posted in what we call Mwisho wa Lami, like a very far away posting. So that's currently Kitui County, Wingi sub-county. There's a place called Sekuru. Those who know it's so far. You go all the way towards Rivatana and Kabalis. Wow. That's where I was posted.
And it's dry there.
Very, very dry. Very dry. I mean, when I look back at the experience, again, it is just about my resilience and everything was still being built.
Yes.
You know, surviving in those places and you know, things that you said, oh, I can't do this. You know, the kind of water I was drinking there. Sometimes I tell myself, maybe I can't drink this water anywhere else. But I did. I survived. I think I thrived.
Wow.
Worked there as so I was the head of a division in agriculture. And you know that those sides is more, they're arid, don't have many crops. So agriculture, we had, I think, like 7 or 8 key crops. Most of the other activities were livestock based because of that agroeconomic zone. So I worked there for 2 years. I was all right.
Wow.
And I could see people being posted there and immediately writing letters seeking to be transferred because it was a bit harsh. Again, maybe because by then, when I got this other job that I now left, that is the time I got into a serious relationship. So I think my theory of getting something permanent and then getting, trying to settle down and start a family was working. So now,
so you went to Kitui. You worked for 2 years, and during that time, that's when you. It's probably the loneliness in Kitui.
And by then we were already starting a family. So that's 2006. But when I looked at the place, I decided, you know, I could not settle my family there. So I just lived there alone. And for those who have worked with the government, you know, a lot of the civil servants kind of live like that. You set up your family elsewhere where you can go to school, do everything else. Then for you, because you never know when you'll be transferred, when you'll be moved where, what will happen, you try and give them some stability. So my family just remained in Nairobi where I was living with the other job that I told you about. So I went there, and you know, so you come back over the weekends to be with the family. So true to my expectation, I think I found the government system a bit more relaxed, you know, a bit more you could express yourself. Obviously, it had its own tensions and its own challenges, but I think it was a better experience. You learn much more, you use a lot more of the knowledge that you've been gathering over the years. With all the challenges that the government has, I think I learned a lot of in-service training in agriculture as an extension officer until, so from 2006 to 2008, I was in Kambani, Sekuru. then 2008, because of the post-election violence, I had a very good friend. He'll probably watch this as well.
Yeah.
Who was working in Homa Bay, but he's from Central, and he had a very bad experience, which maybe I will not repeat here. It may even trigger him. And he requested to transfer from Homa Bay. And it was a bit tough, and they said to him, you must at least get someone to swap with. So he requested me. So that's how I moved from Kitui or Sekuru to Homa Bay in 2008. And
so where did you settle? In Homa Bay town?
Yes. So at first I moved to Rangwe. Yeah. So because I was moving from a division, I was moved to another division. Homa Bay by then was kind of like a district.
Yeah.
So I was moved to a division within Homa Bay, which was Rangwe, where my friend was. So I moved there, but I think I stayed there for only a month.
Yeah.
Then I was moved to the headquarters. So that is the time I think I got promoted from an agriculture officer 2 to an agriculture officer 1 as a district crops officer. From a divisional agricultural officer to now a district. So you're like one of the subject matter specialists working under the district agricultural officer. So that's where I was. That's the position I held until I left
the government.
Until I left the government.
So in Homa Bay, where did you live? Because I schooled in Homa Bay High School.
Oh, okay.
So I know a bit of the estates in Homa Bay.
So it's very hard to because where we lived was close to the Shauriako area, but it was not Shauriako.
Okay.
It's very hard to explain where exactly
which estate it was.
Yeah, but that's where
the place.
exactly.
Okay.
So that's where we lived.
So you worked for the government in Homa Bay until which year?
Until 2013. I came to Australia for the first time.
Now, we are almost coming to Australia.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you think about Australia? What you're still in Homa Bay at this point.
Yes.
How did the Australia thing come to your mind?
Yeah. So in the previous year, I had got an opportunity to travel to Japan on a government of Japan, JICA, and government of Kenya sponsored program to study about rice production, which was picking up in Homa Bay. So I traveled, and that's the time I thought about, seriously exploring opportunities to further my education abroad. Remember, when I left university, I had said to myself, this is it. Not really interested in going for masters or furthering education. But the ministry had those opportunities where you could go, pick study leave and go and further your studies. So coming back from Japan, one of my senior colleagues, I think he knows himself, Ben, had just tried out the Australian Awards for Africa scholarships. By then, some people were aware of it, some were not aware of it, but he made us in his station in Homa Bay aware of it. So I applied. It was a free application process, and you just could do it on your laptop. I did it on my phone. Very difficult, but a lot of pages to fill out. But I did it, and I submitted it. I was called for the interview. Also, they've got this very elaborate interview process where you're taken to pretty good hotels to stay there, to be briefed, and then to do the actual interview. And for those who are successful, you're called again for a...
So who is interviewing you? The government of Kenya or...
Yeah, so we've got officials from AUSAID, that is officials from the Australian government development agency, AUSAID.
Yeah.
We had other contracted experts helping them with the interview, and then we had a representative from the government of Kenya, citizen. So there's that panel, and then you're here and they're asking you some questions, mostly regarding your career, what your career thoughts are. I'm trying to gauge how prepared you are to participate in this master's program and what you're able to bring back from this program to Kenya.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the interview was structured. A panel asking you different questions, different aspects of what that program meant to you and what you'd get out of it. That was after the application process, where you had filled out forms again explaining why you thought you were suited to that program in different ways. So I did that. The first time was in 2012, but I wasn't, I passed the interview. I was one of those who was selected to travel to Australia in 2012, but I had a problem with had a bit of a challenge with the release procedure. You know, the way the government has to give you permission to go abroad. The permission was provided and then withdrawn, so it became a bit of a problem.
Back and forth.
So 2012, you know, a very difficult year for me when I thought I would be coming to Australia, but I didn't come. But I got another opportunity in 2013 where I applied again, went for the interview again.
The same program?
The same program, Australian Awards for Africa. And was successful. So this time, I managed to travel to Australia to do a master's degree program called the Master of Agribusiness.
Which university?
At the University of Melbourne.
Melbourne,
So in the program, when you are applying, you would pick the two top universities you wanted to go to. I picked University of Melbourne and University of Queensland. Those were the ones I wanted to come and study agribusiness in. Again, this was after we were given a bit of information by students who had traveled here before us. So probably know Mike Wanyama. He's one of those who were brought back, having attended the program before us, to talk to us about life in Australia and the different universities. And so I got information from him, and so I nailed down those two universities, the University of Melbourne and the University of Queensland. The program was organized in such a way that you first go for the interview. When you succeed and you're picked, then you're given an opportunity to choose two universities. After, you get a talk or kind of some guidance from people who have been here before. We had many others, but the one I remember most is Mike, because we have maintained a friendship with him.
Wow, it's a small world, isn't it?
Yes.
So 2013, you come to Australia.
January, yes.
January. You leave your family behind.
I leave my family behind.
Yeah. So how was settling like in Australia?
Oh, I would say it was not really tricky as such, because the OZ program have a mentorship program. So we come in and get students who are in their second year. They are more settled. And depending on your mentor, some of them were really willing, because I think the biggest challenge was to get somewhere to stay where you can easily access the uni. And so my mentor, who also recently completed her PhD, Gertrude from Malawi, maybe you'll watch this. She took me in with her family. I stayed with them until I was able to get my own house. She also helped a lot in looking for a house. So eventually I got my own place, and I arranged to stay with another Kenyan who was also coming to do the exact same program. He came in later, I think about a month later, and by then I had already got the house settled, paid everything, signed the lease. So he came in, and we stayed with him in that house over the next 2 years until we finished the program. So the settling in was okay.
And for you also, because it's the program is sponsored, so you're not really hustling for the fees.
Oh yes, that is the other thing. Yes. But we had we quickly formed an association of master students from Africa.
Yeah.
And we went into doing a course that would enable us get work. That was the Certificate 3 in individual support. By then it was called Certificate 3 in aged care.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we immediately started looking for work.
Yeah.
So I think I came in January, and from around June, July, when I had finished the program, I started working.
Yeah. In aged care.
I worked
disability.
Purely in aged care.
Aged care.
I worked in an aged care facility where I also did my placement as part of my training.
Mm.
That's where I worked until from mid 2013 to around September 2014 when we were traveling back.
Mm. So this program you had to go back.
So with the Australian Awards, one of the requirements is you have to go back to your country unless you are proceeding, for example, to a PhD, then they would be able to give authority for you to continue, but with the understanding that eventually, even after the PhD, you will be able to go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 2014, you go back, you finish, you go back.
I did my graduation, went back to Homa Bay, and proceeded.
Back to Homa Bay, back to your office.
Back to my office.
Okay.
And just carried on.
Did you get a promotion because of now you have a master's? Did you get a promotion?
No. So the thing with the government and especially the Ministry of Agriculture that I'm very familiar with, a lot of people have master's degrees. So you are just one in a long line.
I remember you told me in when you're in campus, people would graduate, but because they're still waiting, they come back to do masters. They just fill it up,
So eventually, when you are all in the ministry and they're lining you up, most of you will have a master's degree to show. And if that was the only determinant for promotions, then they now have to look for something else to break the tie. So normally with the ministry it is usually longevity. So if you work longer, you stand a better chance of being promoted. So in 2014 when I returned, no, I was not promoted. But they acknowledged my certificate.
Now we want to come back to now how you made it back to Australia. So 2014 you go back, and then at this point you've made up, when you're going back, you've made up your mind you're coming back to Australia, have you? Or
no.
What is going through your mind? You just go back to work, or what?
My plan, and I know I think there was 5 or 6 of us who were here. 2 of us at Melbourne Uni, and 3 I think were at UQ, University of Queensland. So we are going back to Kenya, and our aim is get back into the system, set up a consultancy, and now start thinking of other careers that we can get into with higher qualifications, especially at master's level. So thinking about beginning, getting into academia. I don't know if any of my friends or even myself were determined to come back. And I think, if you talk to my friends, they will tell you that for me, I was not going to come back. There was no plan to come back.
So even this, when the time you were studying masters, you've worked at the aged care, the money is good. This is not influencing you anyway. Did you ever felt like you want to settle here at that point?
No.
With that?
No. I remember I have friends who said to me when I came in to do the masters, you bring your family, so that even if you go back as required from this scholarship, they can start settling here. But that was kind of not our thinking as a family at that time. We just thought, with better qualifications, a bit of money that I had saved working during the duration I was here doing my masters, we would have good prospects. Go back into the government and start thinking about somewhere else you'd go. Yeah. And so when we got back home, we actually established a consultancy, registered it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and started looking for work. It's just that we never really got any work.
Yeah.
But we actually registered a consultancy with my friends, set it up, opened a bank account, got it registered, because that is what we wanted to do. And my friends, all of them are still in Kenya.
Yeah.
So that just shows you where our thinking was.
Yes. Okay. So then how did you make it back?
Yeah, so it's only later that I said, okay, maybe so from around 2014, 2015, I started thinking more about academia, because agricultural extension work, which I had done for long, basically is, quote unquote, it's about teaching, it's about influencing, it's about providing support. It's kind of not so different from being a teacher or a lecturer. So I thought, okay, what if I now change? I've done this for a while. So I started thinking about academia, started thinking about positions in academia as a lecturer, or that similar kind of positions.
In Kenya? Positions in Kenya, not
in
here.
Kenya, yeah. Tried some applications, Maseno University, Jaramogi in Bondo, and one more, Kabianga, where a few colleagues were also trying out.
Yeah.
And I did a bit of teaching on the side in Bondo, and I think I liked the experience interacting with students, getting questions from them, going back to research on those, coming back and discussing with them. Yeah. So I said, okay, maybe this is something I can follow on. But on consultation, what was coming out was, if you want these positions, you probably need to go a level higher.
Yeah.
Because as I have said, a lot of people with my level of qualifications were out in the market, kind of probably looking for the same kind of opportunities. So to make yourself more competitive, get a bit more skill, get a bit more training, more capacity. So that's how I thought about, okay, what about pursuing a PhD? So around late 2016, there was an opportunity for a PhD position at the Jaramogi Oyunga University in Bondo, on a study about on insects as an alternative diet. So there was somebody who was doing the economic aspect, and they wanted somebody to do the kind of the social aspect, social cultural aspect of perception of insects as an alternative diet, protein diet. Yeah, and so I talked to the professor in charge, and he said, yeah, you could fit into this one. And so I started the application process. But at the same time, the University of Melbourne had the University of Melbourne International Research Scholarship was also on at the time, so I also applied there. So when I got the response from Bondo, and they said, okay, it was not yet official, it was just mentioned to me that, yeah, why now you put in your application, having assessed, you try and put in your application. But at the same time, I got an acceptance from Melbourne University to study a PhD. So I pursued that one. I didn't pursue the one from the uni in Kenya. And then I got the position. 2017 May, came back to Melbourne and started a PhD. Yeah, so I'd say that's kind of what I have been doing, doing the PhD, and really now reconciling myself to the fact that yes, this teaching thing is, I think it's a good thing for me. Like, you go and do research about stuff and you come and share it. Get feedback, generate more questions. So kind of that being in that space of, you know, being academic, I thought it was really fitting for me. Skills that I have developed over time, talking to farmers, training farmers, linking farmers with research, coordinating them, what we now call in agriculture extension, brokerage. And so, you know, I carried on like that, and in 2017, towards the end of the year, I met a lecturer who had taught me my master's 3-4 years back. And he was handling a subject, and he said to me, I want an assistant, a tutorial assistant. Can you do it? I said, yes. No, I didn't even know what I was getting, but I said, yes. And so that is the time I started getting contracts from the University of Melbourne as a tutorial assistant. Not really teaching or lecturing, but assisting the lecturer, deliver certain parts of his teaching and learning activities. So when I finished that, 2018, somebody else, I think they were discussing amongst themselves, and maybe someone may have proposed my name, because she just contacted me and said, can you do this? I said, yes, I can. And so I started a process of non-stop tutorial work. So I was always a tutorial assistant by the time I was in the early stages of my PhD. Assisting in one subject or the other as a tutorial assistant where I could. So I was mostly engaged with the undergraduate subject, Bachelor of Agricultural Science at the University of Melbourne. So I got a lot of experience on how you're expected to deal with students, how you're supposed to handle them, what you're supposed to do, how you know, things to do with assessment, so many things I learned. Then with time, I now moved into my real specialty, so a subject actually called agricultural extension, which is what I was doing back in Kenya. And so the designer of the subject is one of the senior lecturers at the University of Melbourne, a senior professor. And so she observed how I was doing my work, how I was handling the classes, how I was, you know, delivering the lectures, because by then I now started delivering lectures. I was not yet, I had not yet completed my PhD. So in 2022, the person that was handling the subject moved on to something else, and they needed somebody there. So I filled in, and they now officially advertised the position, and because of, you know, Melbourne University, because of its status, they advertise it worldwide. As in it's open. Everybody comes in, and you compete. And that again is the time that
that's right.
I had lost my mom. I lost my mom in April of 2022. And I remember I was going to the post office to deliver something to be taken home. That's the time I got a call and said, there's this, you applied for this position, the interview is on, but we have just been informed that you have been bereaved. Are you able to do the interview? You know, you're in the queue in the post office, and you have the phone, and you really, so many things going on in your mind. You're thinking about, you know, your mom back home, you cannot go. And so I said, yes, I can do it. So an interview was scheduled. I attended the interview. I'm not very sure who else attended. You know, back home in Kenya, we would try and find out, oh, I went for a job, how many other people are there, what are my chances? I think this time I was so preoccupied with what was happening home regarding my mom's passing and funeral preparations and everything. I didn't even bother. I just went to the interview, and I answered the questions best as I could, shared my experience, and applied it to the questions they were asking. And so eventually, 2 weeks later, they called and said, oh, you were the best. I couldn't believe it, because at that time, you know, it's my mom, and I'm deep in my PhD as well. It's not yet complete. So they said, oh, okay, when can you start?
Wow.
And that is how the position that had been you know, as I said, from 2017, getting contracts as a tutor, it now became a lecturer position. So the position that I was holding now was no longer a tutorial assistant, but a lecturer. And the authorities later talked to me and said, okay, because you haven't completed your PhD, the position is not a lecturer, it is associate lecturer. I said,
whatever you want to call it.
Whatever
you want to call it, man. I'm cool with it.
Because sababu ndio position nilikuwa nataka. I'm beginning to enjoy teaching. You know, different from what I was teaching from. I was now teaching students.
Wow.
It's a master's level class, and you know, more mature students. You know, easy to handle and things like that. And so that is how the position that I got was confirmed. And so, because my PhD took a very long time, issues of COVID, and I also had some mishap in the middle, where I had a motorbike accident. I used to ride a motorbike. I had to take time. I had to take time out of study. But generally, it took a long time. So last year, 2024, that's when I completed my PhD.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And the position was now confirmed as lecturer. So my current position at the University of Melbourne is lecturer, having been confirmed from the associate lecturer after completion of the PhD and the publication of the thesis.
Wow.
That's kind of how it went.
What a journey. I'm just thinking about your tuition after high school and all that. All these things worked together, you know, and build you up for this moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you mention it like that, I now reflect and see that yes, you know, sitting with somebody and not just teaching them, but trying to find out from them what else you could do, or what it is you were not doing. You know, could I come tomorrow earlier, or you know, do you want more questions of this nature? Trying to negotiate with the student, kind of what I do now. So I think at that time, that's why you were asking me whether any of those shaped me. Maybe by then I didn't realize that this is what they were shaping me for. But now I do that. This is like, you know, that moment when all these things that I was going
shaping
through were shaping me for this moment. So
the tuition, the enumeration work that you did for a while, and went back and forth, and you know, all that, you know, with research and all that in there. A lot of things there that's really, you know, really working. So sometimes, you know, when we do things, you might think, oh, this is let me just do it for survival for now. If you don't do it well, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because you never know what that is preparing you for.
I think I'd say you missed the opportunity to you know, to purify yourself, to go through that fire, to purify yourself properly. So then later on, when you need to call up on those skills, you really have them. So because even of you know, how I have gone through the enumeration process. So when I have like a student that I'm supervising and they're doing a research, there is kind of what I know they probably go through, and I help them with that. I've recently just co-supervised a student who did some research work in Tanzania, and I was able to tell them, you know, this and this and this, you know, when you're asking questions, do this and this and this, you know, do a test, do, you know, familiarize yourself with your questions, so you don't have to keep reading, keep eye contact, things like that. And those are things that I learned 20 or so years ago. And didn't realize at that time that they would really come in handy in what I'm doing now.
Wow.
Because I remember after the interview, my supervisor said to me, you know, the words she used were, "You were easily the best." So, you know, because the interview, they were not only asking me about being a lecturer, but about my experience in agricultural extension.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was very articulate with that. I remember I shared with my brother later. I said to him, you know, they were asking me these questions, but it's kind of like questions that I am the one who had set, because it was really relevant to my experience, and it was very easy to apply my experience to their questions, put it in context.
Wow.
So I don't know how it would have been without that kind of experience. Yeah.
Ah, perfect. Yeah. We are getting to a close because we need to finish maybe 15 minutes to 3 o'clock, so you can get some time to go. Yeah. Now, so now you're lecturing at the university, and maybe there is somebody out there who would want to be in your position now. You know, later on, they're still in at the university doing whatever course you're doing, but they would want to, you know, at some point come to Australia and be a lecturer, like you are now. Speak to them. How possible is it? You know, some people think, oh, you can never come to Australia and actually lecture students here.
Yeah, and I think the place was the way I would start is saying that yes, the position of lecturer is one of the positions that are normally consistently in the skilled migrant list. So that means that if you are already you're a lecturer, that is a skill that is required here. But let me kind of talk to somebody who's been here. Maybe you've kind of followed a route similar to mine. You've come here, you've done your master's, and now you're wondering, okay, how do I get into this? So my advice would be, put yourself out to be, well, for lack of a better term, to be noticed. So then, what that means is, if you get an opportunity to do something that drives you in that direction, do it and do it well. Because these people notice and they share information, and that is how you will end up getting an opportunity from somebody you didn't even know. That is what happened to me. So the opportunity I got when I started my PhD to support somebody, to be a tutor, I took it wholeheartedly. I've seen a lot of students come in, and you know, with all due respect to them, that is their style, focusing more on the PhD, and in my own words, trying to avoid tutorial work or work in the uni. And I think, in my view, they miss an opportunity to begin not only to build their skills, but to begin to sell themselves to the university as potential employees. When you look at the PhD program, it is said that you are supposed to be a scholar, but also an academic. That means if an opportunity comes up for you to be an academic, take it and do your best. You will be noticed, and you will keep getting opportunities. So for me, it was very interesting, because then, you know, I was always being asked, like, are you available next time, or will you be available next year to do this? And so that showed me that there was something I was doing that was being noticed, and I was getting, as a result of that, I was getting more opportunities. So take your opportunities. They will be noticed. You will be noticed, and you will get opportunity. For somebody who wants to come, again, well, there are all those other challenges that Barney has been talking about in the other videos about coming here, for example, as a skilled migrant, but the opportunities are there. Again, just put yourself out there, go through the process. A lot of the people, I think, I would say, give up very early and say, okay, the process is very arduous, very time-consuming, very difficult. But that is what some of us did. As I said to you, when I came here for the first time, I even got the opportunity, but it was cut off. I have not put so much details, but it was a very painful process. That if I decided never to try again, everyone would understand. Because of what I went through, you know. The proverbial nyama kutolewa kwa mdomo. You've got it. You've told people kwaherini, we'll see you. Then when you're just about to leave to the airport, you're told, there's one document missing, you have not been released. Going back, running to the office, imagine the bus from Homa Bay, what not. I even tried to involve a politician to try and talk to the minister. Then it became a very big issue. And I can assure you, if I did not try again, everyone will understand. But I tried again. So, same case, you want to come in as a lecturer, think about it that way. It's arduous, it's a difficult process, putting all those documents and papers together, doing all the tests. English is very important because of how you express yourself, how you deliver to the students. Remember, here, of course, like in any other places, the students assess you at the end of every semester. They assess you, they say how you delivered. Like now, we have just finished the semester. I'm sending out the surveys to them that will be collected by the universities that I will not see until they have been analyzed. And it is there that they will say, okay, how was my delivery? The good thing is the universities here also give you quite a bit of support, quite a bit of training. You have access to very good technology. You have access to whatever you need to do your work. I have done very interesting things in the short time I have been here to improve my delivery as a lecturer that I may have not done elsewhere. So that is just to say that whereas the process to get in may be challenging, the rewards you get when you're there in that position, is it that you want to use AI in an ethical way, or is it that you want to use technology to deliver your subject, or is it that you need support to design your curriculum? You get all those. So for me, because I enjoy delivery, the other challenging parts, as I am trying to explain, are well supported. For example, designing a curriculum for it to really be of the standard that the university requires, I need support there. But once that is done, the content is there, then the delivery becomes, for me, easy, because I'm used to talking to people and communicating and delivering. At the back end, there's very good support. So, whereas it could be challenging for you to get on board, to join, it is worth the struggle because of how much support you get to deliver.
Before we end, two things. Those two programs, are they still there? Can people get them? The one that you came on the masters and the PhD. Maybe just mention a bit on that. Are they still there? Those two programs.
Very good question, Ban. The Australian Awards for Africa is still there. This is a scholarship that targets students or mid-career professionals, I would say, from Africa. Especially if you are somebody who has been working in the government. They really try to target government, although occasionally you'll have people joining in who are not government workers. They want you, if you've got some work experience and at least a bachelor's degree, you are eligible. And then you can just go in, just Google search for Australian Awards for Africa. It's always open every year. I think the deadlines normally start from October to December, by which time you need to have put in your application and then wait for the results around March, unless the dates have changed. So Australian Awards for Africa is still there, mostly targeting masters, but with a few PhD students. And then the Melbourne International Research Scholarship, mostly for PhD, is also available. This one doesn't have deadlines. It is a rolling scholarship. So if you just look for University of Melbourne International Research Scholarships, that's a fully funded PhD scholarship for 3.5 to 4 years, depending on your program, fully funded to do and complete your PhD.
So really quickly, if I want to come and do PhD on that, I'm back in Kenya or whatever country I am, I've searched Melbourne, what's a quick process Do I look for a supervisor? Do I look for a lecturer? What do I do to get into doing a PhD?
Yes, good question. Again, when you Google it, gives you all these instructions, but quickly is that you will need to identify a supervisor who will accept your application. So what happens is that you've got a PhD program in mind. You go onto the website of the University of Melbourne and look at the supervisors who are available. You'll probably also find my name there if you're somebody who is interested in agriculture, in agricultural extension. Check if I have vacancy to supervise, because to maintain quality, we're allowed to supervise maybe 2 or 3 or maximum of 5 if you're a senior professor. And so if you get my profile, you'll find, do I still have a chance for somebody I can supervise? Or do that for any other lecturer who is researching in an area you're interested in, engineering, you know, education, environmental management, medicine, and you realize, oh, this guy is researching on stem cells where I am interested. Let me write a proposal, send it to them, they look at it, and they'll ask you, oh, this is nice, I think I can work with you. Please do an expression of interest. That begins your process of applying for the Melbourne International Research Scholarship. That's what I did. I wrote to this research group, and they responded and said, yeah, your research on extension organizations and how they collaborate in supporting farmers aligns with our work. Please submit an expression of interest. So that's normally such a big hurdle once the supervisor has accepted that you apply. Then from there, you will now be competing for the available scholarships. But that is the best place to start. Once you understand what the Melbourne International Research Scholarship needs, go onto the University of Melbourne website and just say, find an expert. Once you're in the website, say, find an expert. Then you'll have all the lecturers, all the professors, and the research work they're doing. So just look at which one. Is yours on climate change? Is it on pedagogy of teaching pedagogies? Is it on agricultural extension, or is it on, software engineering? That's where you're interested in. Look for the supervisor or the potential supervisor or lecturer that is also researching in that area, and get in touch with them. Then they will accept, and then you will be moved on to the next stage of submitting an expression of interest, which will be like a big step now towards going into the pool for the scholarships.
Okay. Oh, good. Well explained. I think that sets it very clear for anybody who will want to pursue the same. We are getting to a close. And so, what's your feeling about people who come to Australia? You said you wanted to go back and set your business and your consultancy, and you're set to do that, to doing that. And if it succeeded, you probably would not have come back. Okay. Is there a preference for you now that you've been here for a while? Would you rather be here in Australia or back home? In a general broad way of comment.
Now I think I'd much rather be here because things are a bit more stable. I think when we were finishing our masters and making those resolutions with my friends, probably the circumstances were different. Again, the master's program was pretty tough, I would say. A lot of us were here on our own without our families, and so that may have influenced kind of how we were thinking. We are going back home. We've got a few dollars saved up. We have all these opportunities. We can set up this. But now, maybe the thinking is different, and I would say I would be happier here. I've got more opportunities. The family, they're settled here. So, in the current context, I would very much
be happier.
I'm happier here. But yes, I'm sure my colleagues watching. I will not mention their names, but they know what we were saying. Oh,
yeah.
I will not, and they're still in Kenya today,
yeah.
doing different things. One came back and finished her PhD in neighboring New Zealand. She's back in Kenya teaching.
Yeah, it's good. So, it's good. It's where you make it.
Yeah.
But what I've learned from your interview, big lesson that I've learned from your interview.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing at whatever level, do it well.
Do it well.
Do it well, because it shapes, you know, and somehow it will come handy when you get to a higher level. Because I've realized you're teaching every, you know, from after high school. You were teaching, and you know, and this was, you know, preparing you for big things. You know, so whatever however much you're getting paid, do it well, because it's shaping you. It's no experience that is going to waste.
For sure.
Yes.
I agree. You know, you mentioned the teaching and you asked me how much we were being paid. I can't even remember. But what I remember is what we were doing, you know, planning with my brother, you know, contacting the students, setting proper lesson plans. And I think my brother, Julius, went into much more detail. He had good lesson plans. He taught children of very senior politicians who he's still in contact with. And so that experience, we didn't even attach it much to the money. I think when we started, we thought, let's get a bit of money. But the memory that sticks is the experience of teaching, going out to teach, going out to the Baptist church to organize the class, get the blackboard ready and all those things.
Wow. So there was no time that you stay idle?
No,
there was no time to just
stay idle. We would only stay idle if on conditions when we missed, probably sometimes you would not get students. Somebody who you were teaching has transferred to another town. You have to look again. But we were always out there
looking for something to do.
So you know, at Tegemeo Institute, where I told you I was an enumerator and was ranked the best. I've kept the letter. I still have it here that shows, you know, you are the best, and I used that to apply for both my master's and even the PhD, because it is a commendation that you did well. So whatever you do, as you say, try and do it well. Because there's people who will notice.
Transferred experience and skills. It's very important.
For sure.
Wow, that's a big lesson I've learned. Now we are getting close to the end. Before you give your final comments, we lost a big beacon of, you know, in matters politics back in Kenya. Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, a few weeks now. Just a comment about that and the influence, you know, he's had as a person and also as a politician to you. And then you give your final remarks and we will go.
Thank you. So I'm happy you brought this up, because this is really it was really a momentous moment for us Kenyans, and obviously many other people around the world who are not even Kenyan but who are also influenced by Raila. So I would say there's things that I looked up to Raila for, and for me he was a big example in how to do things in many ways. When to go forward, when to retreat, when to negotiate, but also how to, you know, positively use your influence. So I know when he passed on, when I got the information from somebody back home, it was unbelievable, because in spite of myself, I did not believe that Raila was going to die, especially at the time that he did. So he's somebody who has influenced me, I think, without knowing it, but by just looking at how he lives, how he does his things, obviously being human with a few of his fallibilities or some of his challenges as any other human being. I choose to look at the positives of what I could pick from his life by just observing him as a family man, looking at his family, you know, how families are challenged nowadays. As a leader, looking at the organization and the people he leads and the people he has influenced, and above all, his way of quietly supporting. You know, it is only now that it is coming out, people saying, oh, Raila did this for me, Raila paid my school fees, Raila built this for me, you know, quietly without us ever knowing. I really like that, you know, that quiet influence. So I first met him a long time ago, you know, when they came to Kabete with his good friend James Orengo. I don't know whether they'll remember. They may not remember, but those of my colleagues who were there remember meeting him. At that time, much more energetic, a bit, you know, much more, you know, going forth. But kind of what stays with me is just how he has lived his life, how he has used his influence, in my view, positively. And so I must say it's a really, really big loss to all of us.
Yeah, rest in peace, Papa. You know, some of us growing up in a small house, you know, back in the village, the calendar on the wall will always have Baba, you know, there, you know, with a team of his own. And you cannot talk about Kenyan politics without mentioning Raila Amolo Odinga. So he had his own challenges, and but he had a big influence, you know, politically. And so we're praying for the family, and rest in peace. Now, final comments as we close. Now, this one is generally to, you know, people who have come to Australia and are settling, because that's something that I talk about a lot. You know, people coming here and settling, and some of them struggling to settle, especially students not being able to cope up. From what your experience is, I know you did come like as a student per se, because you were not paying school fees, but even from your experience back home, resilience and all that, what can you advise, you know, people who are coming to settle, either students or immigrants settling here in Australia?
The advice I would give kind of would be informed still by my own experience, plus a bit of what I have heard. Again, to my own experience, as you say, I'd say the money was not a big issue. I mean, that's my perspective, because the scholarship was generous enough for somebody who's single to settle in and be able to take care of their bills. But for those who are coming in other ways, for example, you're a student and you're self-sponsoring, it's good to be very, very aware of Australia as a relatively expensive place to live in, and the big costs of the rent and your tuition as a student are things you really need to consider carefully. So the other thing I'd bring about from my experience is be willing to go out and do what you need to do to get a bit more income. So I came in as I'd say mid-level government worker, but I had no problem at all hustling as an aged care worker. You know, working in aged care has got different perceptions by different people. There are people who think about it differently. But I would say to somebody who comes in Australia, be ready to do any of the so-called blue-collar jobs, because they'll not only help you in gaining the work experience and culture that is very handy here, but you'll also get a bit of extra income. So I think coming in as a student, be prepared to work. I had no problem at all. Maybe that is because of how I got used to hustling when I was back home, and I was like, this is the opportunity that's available, this is the quickest, I've only got 2 years here, I'm going for it. So some of those decisive positions are helpful, instead of second guessing. I know of people who said, I can't touch that with a 10-foot pole. One of my friends knows one of such people, and he said, I'm not going to do this work. But when they had 2 months to finish the scholarship, then he was asking everybody, how can I get this work? How can I get this work?
Yeah.
But it was too late, because when you come here, you need to get the skill before you get the job.
Yeah.
So when we were getting the skill and getting the job, he was hesitant, and when it was too late, they wanted to go in. So for me, I wouldn't mind going. I mean, if I went through the same process, I would kind of handle it the exact same way. If there's an opportunity to make my stay in Australia more bearable by getting a bit more income, and the income is to work in aged care or to work in a factory, you know, packing frozen meat, or to work as a delivery person with Uber, I'll do it. So if you come to Australia, come with that attitude. Even if you come in as a skilled migrant, you will not immediately get the position for which you have been accepted, that you applied for, but there will be other opportunities, and your attitude towards those other opportunities will go a long way to helping you settle in Australia. If you decide to sit and wait, you may not like Australia. But if you grab the opportunities, you know, it's not just the work. Remember, my brother said to me, go to the university to get an experience. This is a brother who's an engineer, well educated, but he didn't say to me, go to the university to get educated. He didn't say that. He said, get the experience. So come in, go to that factory and pack that meat, go to that, you know, Uber and deliver, get the experience, socialize with people, learn to negotiate. This all come in handy when you now get into the position that you applied for when you applied as a skilled migrant, or the eventual position you end up in as a student. So kwa Kiswahili ni kujituma. Ukipata nafasi, ujitume kabisa. Manake utapata experience. Pia pesa utapata. Na mwishowe yote ni wewe itakufaidi. Wewe ndio utafaidika na hii experience ambayo utapata. Mimi nimepata experience kwa njia nyingi. Unajua pale mnapofanya mko watu wengi. Kwa hivyo unajifunza culture ya Australia ya kuheshimu time. Unafika kazi kwa wakati unaofaa. Unaheshimu wenzako. Unachunga sana vile unahusiana na wenzako. Kwa hivyo hiyo yote bado utapeleka pale. Mimi niko sahihi kama lecturer. Lazima niheshimu time, siwezi enda darasani nikichelewa. Lazima nihakikishe kwamba kazi yangu iko tayari, curriculum iko tayari, content iko sawa kwenye online learning management system on time. Nimeifungua, watoto wanafunzi wanasoma. Na vile vile naheshimu wenzangu pale kazini na wanafunzi ninaowafundisha. So hizi ni vitu nilijifunza mara ya kwanza hapa Australia katika ile environment ya aged care. Maana yake mko na watu wengi mnafanya kazi na mko na wale mna support. Siwezi enda nikamfanyia vibaya yule ninamsupport. Na nikifanya kila siku namfanyia vizuri, basi inaingia kwangu kwamba ni vizuri kuwa na utu. It is good to respect other people that you are supporting. The same way now I will do it with the students easily. I will never be conflicted about being respectful, because I learned to be respectful.
Transferable skills.
Transferable skills. That's the term. Exactly. Transferable skills. So whichever opportunity you get, you use it. Just remember my brother Patrick's advice. Go and get an experience. This is an educated person who never told me, go and get education. He said, go and get an experience in the university.
What an experience, you know, from tutoring kids, high school kids, sales. You did sales at some point. You did enumeration. That's for research. You did it all. You know, you've coached.
I've coached.
Even that coaching itself is you know, passing knowledge and experience. And so that's a big learning that I get from our interview today. Whatever you find your hands to do, do it really well, because those experiences will count. Those skills will count at some point, even on a higher level, where you know, it's going to be needed most.
Sure.
Okay, and I've been in interviews here in Australia where you've been asked, have you been in a situation, and then you're asked, and some of those experiences just comes to your mind, and it's easy to explain when you've actually gone through those experiences.
That's true.
And so thank you very much. I've really enjoyed talking to you, Wiki, and Dr. Oyunga. I need to get used to calling you doctor, because it's really doing PhD is not a joke.
For
so
sure.
So congratulations, and really I wish you all the best, even in your position lecturing, and your story is really inspiring. There are people here who have masters and have stalled at that level, and probably don't believe that they would go higher and become or work in academia, and so your story is going to really inspire people. And thank you for welcoming me in your house, and being able to do this. I really enjoyed myself.
Thank you very much, Barney. I really also enjoyed, when you talk about yourself, you also learn quite a bit more about yourself.
Yes.
So I thank you for the opportunity, and if you'll have any of those who wish to get more information, then I'm happy to, for them to reach out. Preferably through my email.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, of course, I will share the email. Those who want to contact Dr. Oyunga, I will share his email so you can contact him more official, and as he said it himself, he's happy to answer those questions. But please direct them to his email. It's more organized, more structured way of handling that those kind of queries. All right. Any other thing you want to say?
No, just to say thank you for this opportunity to share my experiences, and to all those who are aspiring to get where I am. That means either to get to Australia or to get to a lecturer position. It is very possible. I could not share everything in this interview, but it is. All I can say is that it is possible. Just make sure that whatever you get the opportunity to do, just do your best in it, because I just insist that it will be noticed.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. As you said, we couldn't, because of time, we couldn't go into much details, because I even cut the part of, meeting is better half, and having, because Dr. Oyunga is a family man. He has beautiful kids, but we couldn't go into that because of time. Maybe sometime later on we might go a bit into those details, but surely I really appreciate the time. Thank you very much. To my viewers, thank you very much for tuning in and watching this show. I hope it inspires you. I hope it clicks something into you, and helps you to go to your next step of whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for watching today's show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also you can follow me on other social media platforms like TikTok. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Please follow me. We are doing really, really well, but please, more so, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Till next time, my name is Barnabas, the son of encouragement. Bye-bye for now, and if you want to stay, bye-bye to them.
Bye-bye, everyone, and see you soon.
Thank you. All right, see you. Bye-bye.